I didn't even hear the first part, so I don't even want you to feel that I'm trying to even insinuate you said that or any kind of shape or form. But just coming from me, like I had to learn that, because I hold grudges. So, and I will hold them for a long time, you know. But I had to learn how to let go.
And I think God is working on all of us. We all got flaws and claws and whatever else we have.
Right.
You know, that's just me personally. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Elder, but
someone else?
what what we need to be careful though with that is most of us are in leadership position, and that very one that really hurts your nerve, that's the one always gonna be around you. So you have to be very, 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 very careful with that because if it's in there, we really have to pray and ask God to deliver us from it because you will wind up yeah.
Yes,
And
exactly.
this keep coming around every few weeks because we need to deal with that.
And I think Apostle did a demonstration with me one night. It's been some years ago because I haven't been up here in almost 4 years because of my situation. Um, he put books on my shoulder because I was sharing with him about my coworker who just got on my nerve. I mean, she just really got on my nerves. And so Apostle took some books, several books, and he put them on my shoulder. And the weight of the books, I'm telling you, was something serious. So he told me, he said, at that time I was a minister. He said, you're going to have to let those things go. And so it wasn't easy. It was not easy. But I'm not working anymore either. So that, yes. So it's much easier now. But to God be the glory because, like I said, we all have flaws. And I know I do. I got a lot of flaws. My husband could tell you that. However, um, life isn't a straight line. It's not that. Yes. Deacon comments.
What's the topic tonight? Because we just came in.
Oh, my topic, I'm talking about integrity.
Okay.
And my subtopic is who are you when no one else is watching? Oh, Lord. I, oh, he doesn't have one.
So, what steps, in your opinion, what steps should we take to be not a respected person?
What steps do you take not to
Yeah.
respect a person?
Not to be a respecter of a person.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. In your opinion, what steps should we take to be not a respecter of a person?
That's left up to you, D. That's left up to you because I think that's something that's individual. Yeah, I can't answer. You know, that's left up to you. What steps would you take?
I
D?
have a response to that, if I can chime in.
Oh, absolutely.
I think one of the key things that, and I'm sure all of us have been in this category or currently ask God to deliver us for the category, is when we are the body in ministry, just with the walk alone. We are going to be approached. We're going to be offended. We're going to be talked about, backstabbed. All that is guaranteed to happen if you continue on this walk.
Yeah.
So one thing that we all have to get to a point is wherein when these things happen, because surely they're going to happen, we got to get to a point where we're strong enough to brush it off and continue to move forward by keeping our eyes on The Lord, not the situation, not even the person, you know what I mean, who may have offended us, or whatever the case may be, but staying focused. And one thing that Apostle said to me a couple of weeks ago when we had a conversation was, in ministry, in leadership, overall, you have to be like a duck. And I'm like, what you mean like a duck? And he said, you got to be able to let it slide off of you and keep going. And now I understand really, what that means. And I think that's very important for all of us. That's one of the steps, Minister Tom, I think that we all can take, is we got to get there to where you can, you can be like, okay, yeah, that happened, but I'm going to still keep my eyes focused on the Lord. I'm not going to let that penetrate me. I'm not going to let that, offend me. I'm not going to let that stop me from coming to church, or, loving on my sister and brother. I'm going to keep my eye on the prize and just pray for them and let God deal with that situation.
Exactly. A bridge doesn't collapse because of, oh, okay. Oh.
I don't really have a question, but I just want to piggyback off of what Minister Helen said about you're going to run into that particular individual. And because you're my wife, my previous job, I think I told this before, but my boss, her life was to irritate me every day. I mean, it was just something that she wanted to do. She basically wanted me to quit. But I had made up my mind I wasn't going to quit, but I kept asking God, I'm like, God, if I don't quit, I might kill this lady. And I'm just being serious. I'm not pretending. I'm serious when I tell you that, because the lady, when you say integrity, she pushed my integrity. She did things, and she had the people on my job to basically say things that wasn't true about me, like entering their apartments and just doing different things, and she wrote me up, and everything was false. And I told her, I said, listen, I'm not signing that crap. I mean, excuse me, that's just what I said. But nevertheless, she just continued to do that over and over and over. She pushed me to the brink of just, sometimes I'd say, God, I just got to go somewhere and just basically almost cry, because she put that kind of pressure on me. But I like you say, Apostle say, to let it slide. Man, it was sticking on me. I mean, it really was. And I'm just saying, God, I'm at the brink of just going in there, turning the desk over on her. I mean, I'm serious when I tell you that. But 2 weeks before I left that job, my previous manager, she was at another job, and she called me. She like, I got a position for you. And I'm like, man, I don't want to move. I've been out here so many years, and I don't want to move. But she said, just think about it. I got you. So in the process of that, I had to take my wife to the doctor, and I told her that the day before, but she was like, when I came to work, she was like, I got something to tell you. So she was like, I'm like, okay. She said, well, I got another write-up for you, so that makes you out of here. Yeah. So right then I said, God, I can either walk out of here or just slap her. But God, He prevailed through me, and I walked out. And I just made a phone call, and basically the next day I was working again. So just like Minister Helen said, you gotta shake it off sometimes. It ain't that easy though.
Absolutely. That's what it was. Building character.
I also wanted to add a little bit of something to that, especially when you encounter somebody or it just a situation. It doesn't even have to be a person that really gets to you. And I would say one of the things would be to pray and also to ask God to reveal what's happening, because sometimes that's just a spirit and it's just coming back in different forms or through that same person. So if it keeps coming back to you, then that means that's something that he wants you to deal with and eventually get over.
A bridge does not collapse because of heavy traffic, and some of us cross a bridge every day in our lives. A bridge collapses because of the cracks that are in the bridge. So, on that, I thank God that we ride over the bridge and it does not collapse. We got some women in the Bible that had or had integrity. Abigail was one of them. She showed wisdom and courage, and she prevented a crisis. That's what she did. And she was the wife of Nabal first and then David. Ruth demonstrated loyalty to her mother-in-law, Naomi. And if you would please get me Ruth 1:16. Ruth told her mother-in-law, wherever you go, I'm going. Whoever you serve, your God you serve, I'm serving.
You want me to read it for you? Or you got it?
You can, because
Okay.
I have to turn my
Okay,
chair
I got
all
you.
the way
I
around.
got you. Ruth 1:16, the King James Version. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God.
Now, Ruth was dedicated to her mother-in-law because she was married to to Naomi's son. And I think that she was really dedicated to her mother-in-law. Esther. Esther risked her life to save her people to fulfill God's purpose. And that's in Esther 7:63.
She said Esther
7:63, I think that's what it is. Seven and 63. Yes.
Is there 63 books? Is there 63 chapters?
It's not. Well, I wrote it wrong. Hold on. Seven and 6.
Yeah, I'll read it. Esther 7:3. Queen Esther replied, "If I have found favor with the king, and if it pleases the king to grant my request, I ask that my life and the lives of my people will be spared."
Deborah. Deborah had a remarkable relationship with God. She demonstrated what a person can accomplish when God is in control. She was a strong and respectable judge and prophet, and that could be found in, I think, Judges 4:4.
Judges 4:4. Deborah, the wife of Lapidoth, was a prophet who was judging Israel at that time.
Go ahead.
5. She would sit under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, and the Israelites would go to her for judgment.
Mary. We're going to talk about Mary. Mary was Jesus' mother. She demonstrated integrity and faith through her acceptance of God's will. That was a mighty woman. Mighty, mighty woman. Integrity was illustrated in Job's life, and that's Job 2 and 3. It was also illustrated in David's life. That's Psalm 7 and 8. David shut the mouth of the lion. And back in Job, we know that Satan could not persuade God to do anything. Nehemiah, he was helpful to the poor, and that's in 5 and 14 through 19. Daniel, not Daniel. We know that God does not bless perfection. We all know that. In Kings, 1 King 9 and 4, the father walked in integrity of the heart. Can we go to Psalm 78 and 72, please? Any questions?
What about a comment?
Any comments?
I was thinking when you were saying that, what about Joseph?
What about who?
Joseph, he had big time integrity when Miss Potiphar was trying to seduce him.
Uh-huh.
There was integrity that he didn't fall for that. And how he treated his brothers, he had excellent integrity too.
Oh, yeah, because it was a famine in the land and he saved them. They didn't even recognize Joseph.
I believe she said Psalm 78 and 72.
Yes.
Okay. Psalm 78 and 72. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands.
Psalms 41 and 12.
Psalms 41 and 12. And as for me, thou upholdest me in mine integrity, and setteth me before thy face forever.
Proverbs 11 and 3.
Proverbs 11 and 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them.
Proverbs 11 and 3.
That was 11 and 3.
That was 11. Psalms 25 and 21. I'm sorry.
25 and 21. Psalms
Yes,
25 and
yes.
21. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee.
Proverbs 10 and 9.
Proverbs 10 and 9. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known.
Proverbs 11 and 3. That was one. Okay. First Chronicle 29 and 17. First Chronicle 29 and 17, excuse me.
First Chronicles 29 and 17. I know also, my God, that thou triest the heart, and have pleasure in uprightness. As for me, in the uprightness of mine heart, I have willingly offered all these things. And now have I seen with joy thy people, which are present here to offer willingly unto thee.
And we're going to talk about why integrity matters. Integrity matters because it builds trust in relationships. It earns respect over time. It strengthens self-confidence. You don't have to keep, track of lies. It creates strong relationship and credibility. Integrity is doing what is right because it honors God. Reputation is what others think of you. We all got a reputation, right? Okay. Integrity is really who we are. We just have to be careful that we don't cut up on Sunday and come on Wednesday like we're angels. Integrity brings blessings, and that's in Proverbs 88 and Proverbs 20 and 7. Could you get Proverbs 88, I'm sorry, and 11? Huh? Okay, well, Proverbs 20 and 7. I don't know where I got this from.
Hmm.
Songs. Well, go to Proverbs 20 and 7, please.
Proverbs 20 and 7. The just man walketh in his integrity. His children are blessed after him.
And it doesn't end with you. Blessing, everyone is connected to us when we're blessed. Everybody. Those that God has for us. Are there any questions? Because I'm done. Dad?
Just based on that. Just based on hello, testing. Just based on what you just said, and the question just popped in my mind. How do we learn integrity? How do we learn integrity? Just based on that, what that scripture says.
That integrity is your character. I think that's something that is placed in you already. If you were raised in a Christian home and you had Christian parents, you know how to act because they teach you.
Oh, pick up your mic. Yeah, they recorded. Yeah.
Who's recording?
Oh, we're recording this. Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
I think it's learned. Really. You learn integrity. You learn how to behave. You're supposed to.
Right, and the reason why I asked that, because when you know, that shapes us. Like when you said it's our character is shaped, right? It's either shaped through our childhood, it's shaped through our experiences, and some people may not were taught integrity, right? Because when you said that scripture, that just took me back to my childhood. With my dad, and the example he was in front of us, right? He wasn't a perfect person, but just the example and what he showed us, how to respect our elders, how to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, don't talk back, be respectful, right? That shaped my character. That shaped who I am today, the integrity. And he displayed integrity, right? Especially with the type of job that he had, because he was an investigator for years in law enforcement at our local police department for 20-some years. And everybody knew the type of man he was because of what he displayed in the community. Like, he was a fair man. He was fair. He treated everybody the same. He gave people breaks when they probably didn't need a break. He was known as an investigator that he will find you. If Eddie Lee looking for you, he gonna find you, right? That's just what his character was and who he was there. So I think our integrity is shaped, is shaped, right? It is a learn. We have to learn it. Just like behavior, we learn behavior based on our parents, what we saw, how we was raised. So integrity, I think, is taught. It has to be taught to us, because I think, like Earl had a good point. Well, what if I'm raised in a home where no integrity is displayed? More than likely, you won't have any. Right? But you can learn it later on in life. Even if you weren't taught it, you can learn it later on in life. Right? It's not gone. It's not thrown out the window. But integrity is taught. It has to be displayed. We have to see it so we know to mimic it or repeat it. You understand what I'm saying? So I think integrity is taught. It has to be taught. It just has to be taught.
Any other questions or comments?
I just got a question for you. I grew up in Lake County. Some of you might not know what happened in Lake County years ago, even to this point now. Um, can you still have integrity when I hate to get into that, but there was so much racial divide. Can you still have integrity when I'm not gonna tell you what what they call us like, but I mean, can you still prevail over that and still have integrity? Can anybody respond to that?
I think you can. I think you can have integrity.
I mean, have you been through that?
I think a lot of us have
I
already
I
been
know you
through
have.
racism
Yeah,
and prejudice. A lot of us have gone through that.
but baby, you haven't. You didn't go through the racism I did, cause I know where you grew up at and everything. So, but Lake County was a different. It was a different animal. I mean, but I respect y'all answer though. But I just I mean, yeah.
I think because I was with you when it occurred. I'm talking about it. Uh, I'm talking about pulling up to the store, a public store, and we parked. The owner of the store didn't say anything, but it was two customers that came out of the store and told you you couldn't park there. And I know you thought about when you were coming up, baby. I know that. And I just didn't want to see you go off on nobody, especially nobody white. So, yes, yes. But I was glad that my husband didn't say any much more than what he had said because he said a mouth. Bringing it back. So anyway, this guy came in McDonald's. Oh. The guy came in McDonald's and he flashed a badge. No, He said, you're not supposed to take that scooter away from Walmart. I said, I was coming back. I was going to bring it back. I was just hungry. That's all. So I did take it back. I didn't go to jail. I could have. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to remove those scooters. I didn't know. So my husband had left my wheelchair in the car, so I had to go get something. So that's what I did. But then he fussed with me. He said, "And you're not supposed to take those people's scooter." I said, "Well, ain't no sign on this scooter saying I can't take it. I was bringing it back." But he fussed and he fussed. But it was okay. I didn't go to jail. No, that wasn't integrity. No. What part I'm missing, Ham? This.
Tell it, D. Tell it, D. I'm just using that to see if
I had integrity. I told him I hope ICE come and get him. Talking about the ice in the refrigerator.
Based on your what you just said about you taking the scooter, right? Just going back to that example. It's being accountable, admitting the mistakes without shifting blame.
I didn't shift the blame. Wasn't nobody else to blame.
No. Right. No. No, you did shift the no, you shift the blame because you said it did not have a sign on it like it was supposed to have a sign on it because they don't have a sign that says do not leave it off the property. So it did not. So in a sense, because of you not being fully accountable for taking it, not believing that it was wrong to take it because it wasn't a sign on it, meaning that you shift blame off of you, you shift it off of you because the sign was not on it. Blaming is not always blaming a person when you blame someone. No, I'm just going back to what you said about integrity. We talking about integrity. You just gave the definition and I just read it, what it says. But being accountable. So being accountable is admitting that I was wrong for taking it off, rather you knew or not knew. And I think you ended up saying that at the end. Right. So you became accountable.
It didn't have a sign. I was wrong.
Right. And not that it needed to have a sign or was supposed to have a sign. Well, just because. But just because it wasn't to you, it doesn't mean that it was either it was wrong. I would know that it was wrong, of course, but because we got to think, just because I believe something, that doesn't mean it's right. Just because I have an opinion, that doesn't mean it's facts, right?
Exactly.
Right. So that's where the definition that you gave about the accountability piece, which about integrity, because integrity is about being accountable. Hey, I messed up. I made this mistake. It was me. I'm not going to put it on this person. I'm not going to put it on it not having a sign. I'm not even going to put it on it that I did not know.
No.
You can't even put it on that.
Look, when the guy came in and flashed his badge, I told him I was wrong.
Right. Accountability.
Yeah.
That's what. I just read it because you just. That's the definition you
Yeah.
gave. So being accountable, and you
Yeah.
were.
And
You were.
I was.
You were.
You know, but Hap is talking about the Mexican, because he worked for Salvation Army, he didn't even work for Walmart. He's the one that told that I had taken. Oh, and that's so you read
upset with him for telling the truth. You did take it. You admitted you took it. You didn't know it was wrong to take it.
Cause he should have shut his mouth.
It's supposed to go. You see something? What happened? Do you see something? Say something.
That was not his business. He didn't work for Walmart. He worked for Salvation Army.
When you see something, say something. Then say you got to work for the company. You saw it. You say it because that cost the taxpayers if that didn't come back.
What?
That
The scooter?
the cart, yeah, it costs the taxpayers if it don't come back. You brought it back. Your intentions was to bring it back, but still and yet, it costs the store, and the store is going to bring the charges to us.
Pastor, I pay taxes.
I understand that. I understand that, but can you imagine?
But I was gonna bring it back. He didn't have to tell. I just needed something to.
But the principle of the whole thing is the principle of the whole thing.
Right. I ain't gonna argue with you, Pastor.
You know, I'm
I know it. I know. But I'm not gonna argue with you, Pastor.
Let me ask anybody. Okay, you're in the parking lot, Walmart, same place, and you see the who was the Salvation Army man, bell ringer, is out there. Somebody snatch your purse. He see it. Is he not supposed to tell the store detective or somebody?
That's pointed at me.
No, right. No, you said anybody.
Anybody.
You said anybody.
Anybody. You will want him to tell it.
Huh?
You will want him to tell it.
Oh, yeah, if he stole my purse.
Okay, so